shamed her last week.
Yeah, I drink one diet a day. I just have to start earlier when I get up earlier. I didn't get up as early today. When you're picking peaches, you gotta get up early.
Yeah, they made a living off what I bought in Diet Coke.
Right,
They feel
just
broke,
9:30.
'cause I don't drink much pop at all.
All right, it is 9:30. This is time for our work session. We have twice a month. So, what do we have for work session? Anybody?
A couple things I'd like to talk about is, I've been approached by an outside business that would like to potentially move into the Fifth Third building. And they want me to get back with them. We sent them they toured the facility Friday. We sent them the layout of the facility. This is a legitimate enterprise.
And already existing business in town?
Pardon?
Already existing in the area?
No, there's not a brand new business coming in. I don't know if this is something we do an open session, talk about the rent, what we would lease the building, or is that something we do in private session? I don't know. Is
I
that,
think this would be an appropriate place.
is it? I understand it, Stacy would have to clarify it. I think in the past that we leased it, was a net lease that we took care of all taxes, all utilities, everything. They would have to take care of the phone and their security. And it was $3,000 a month.
Yeah, it was about $2,900 a month.
When we tried to shop it out afterwards, since it was a bank, we tried to shop it to other banks at the same rate.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Is that something that I would have authorization to go ahead and my suggestion, we would try to get $3,000 and just round it out to an even number there. Looking at the expenses, it would net the county about $26,000 a year, but it would also bring in an employer that would bring in additional payroll taxes for the city and fill up a vacant building, and it would be a good corporate client for the
Yeah,
for
I
the
think that's
county.
great.
If that would be all right with you, that I will pursue the,
So they wouldn't need renovations to the building?
yes, they would.
But I know-
Oh, that's
would
the next
those-
thing.
if those are gonna be at our cost, then I
No,
guess we
no,
got that.
no,
Oh.
no. They have to take care of the renovations, and they would want a 5-year lease, and they talked about a 20-year renewal. My feeling is a 5-year lease with a 10-year renewal type thing, and I don't know if we want a clause in there for any escalating leases, or just leave it at that for a 10-year period. And
Let me just take a break. Is this something that we normally discuss in executive, or is this, do you know?
Well, right now, we're not giving,
Yeah, we're not gonna, I just don't float too many ideas, and then they read it in the paper and say, well, they can get us down to, a
Right.
certain amount.
sale of property, that is executive session. I don't know about.
I
leases
don't
rent.
know either. I don't know either. I hate to play our whole cards and.
you guys are
Well, anyway, the
newspaper.
cur-
Is this,
But we're just
is this
we're just
executive session material, or is this?
We'll get that checked, but we're just verifying that the last time we had a tenant in it, they paid $3,000 a month.
Yeah,
The last time
yeah.
we had a tenant, that's all we verified at this point.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah,
that-
yeah,
and
that's
a
right.
potential
And I'm
tenant, whoever it is,
advocating, I know that they would want a 5-year lease, because they would have to make some major
Because they're gonna put some
modifications to the building.
expenses.
Sure, sure.
And are we, I guess that's the kind of stuff that, I guess, yeah, do we have to approve those plans? And I don't know how all that works. This is the first we would have done this.
I don't believe so. I mean, it's a very, very, very good company, so it would, they're not gonna put anything shiesty in there by any means.
And they're not ready to be public yet.
Yes, yes. So again, a 5-year lease and negotiate from there.
Sure, sure. I think
What
that's
would be
super.
acceptable, if it'd
Yep.
be a 10-year lease or a 20-year lease or something of that nature, but my preference would be a 10-year lease. You know, a 5-year with a 10-year, 2 5-year renewals. That puts them for 15 years at that point.
Yeah, we tried to shop that several times. We personally called every bank in the area and did other things, and so that's great.
You know, these guys are very interested. We met for lunch. We had lunch with the mayor and myself, and they were very interested in that property. So I think that if we can work out the lease thing, it's a good situation.
The other thing is fallen through, I assume the one that was originally gonna go there, the young lady that, I
Yeah,
think
she
turned
has-
her money back into the.
I don't know if she's turned her money back in.
Forfeited her.
Well, she hasn't physically got it. That was Tiffin Tomorrow, I
Yeah, yeah.
believe, that
Oh,
she
was that
was
the
awarded.
space she was looking at?
I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I
that
didn't know
was,
that was the
yeah, she
space.
was looking
I
into
just saw
that, but the cost to renovate it was just much greater than what she wanted to spend towards it. So that's a dead issue as far as I'm concerned.
And she did turn it back, I think I read that recently.
But she did. I don't know if Tiffin Tomorrow physically gave her the money or she was
She's
awarded
declining
it
the yeah.
when she,
You know, I
Proceeded
don't
with
know all
it.
the details, but I read something about it being turned back
Yeah.
by the individual who had won the contest last year, and I think that's who she was, right?
Yeah.
or if there's any way we can help her, because it really wasn't a nice program that she was talking. I was one of the judges when they,
Oh, okay.
when they
Presented.
presented the whole thing, and it was very professionally done, and it would have been a nice asset for kids and parents, and to take their kids there and blah, 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 so forth and so on,
Okay.
but yeah, that's a dead issue.
That's news we've heard in a while.
Okay, I will, if I have your permission, I'll go ahead and continue to negotiate that and see if we can't put that to bed. Next issue is the CSB building. We've got a determination from Earl Reed.
I got a copy of that. I
Yeah.
was gonna bring that up too.
Is that work session here? or-
Yeah, that'd be great. He said the wall needs to be repaired, but should not be totally repaired until we do the roof. And he has some guy gonna look at it. I guess it would be kind of counterproductive to do the wall if the roof's causing the problem.
Yeah, I think what he's talking about is, maybe we need to get up there with maintenance ourselves. If there is a crack in the part of the roof that's to the wall, then that needs to be repaired, and then we could go ahead with the other, because we're still a year or two off for total repair of the roof. Is that correct?
Is that right?
Yeah, for that building.
Oh,
I thought we were at least another year
Yeah.
or two off. So it may not hurt for us to go up there and just take a look ourselves, and then, because my interpretation of that was the whole roof eventually needs repaired, and maybe they could just patch the seam where it's
Okay.
leaking into the wall. Then we could go ahead and finish our repairs.
He says, I'm asking Gary Mays to come and look at wall for repair suggestions and cost estimates, and to provide some options on repairs. Would the contractor we talked about last time be willing to wait a little bit longer, or is that?
Well, it's a 30-day window was what he gave us there, and he did come back, and if we find out it was be much more of a project than what was anticipated, we would be just charged an hourly rate of $110 an hour. So if he worked 10 hours on it and found out that the wall was really in much worse shape than anyone anticipated, they would charge $110. If he worked 10 hours, we'd pay him that, and then we'd have to look at more of a larger issue there.
Do you know when this Gary Mays is coming? Any idea?
No. It said something about Friday, or is that when he was coming back up? No, he's talking about two different things. He was talking
Okay,
about the
I will be
sheriff's.
back in town Friday, and yeah, that's the other issue.
Okay.
But maybe we could find out Friday. I guess I hesitate to put much into that until we know
Yeah, I
what
wouldn't make any sense.
what the other problem is. I really appreciate our contractor, being very fair with us here.
But you said he wouldn't start until after.
Yeah, he
the
wouldn't start
Heritage
till
Fest
after,
anyway.
he's booked up till after Heritage Festival. And I mentioned that was our desire to not do anything till after Heritage Festival anyway, and he said that's fine, because he's too busy right now anyway.
He
so.
won't buy a bunch of materials for it.
I don't believe so, no.
Can we find out, see what you find out Friday when you talk to Earl, and then put it on our file for Monday to
Yep.
talk. Is next week we're meeting Monday, or is it, next week's still Tuesday, isn't it? It's the week after. we
Next
switch.
week's still Tuesday, the
Okay.
16th and the 17th is when we're switching.
Okay, okay. Is that okay with the board, to just
Yeah.
see if we can
I-
get more information there? Okay.
Yeah.
I was
I
gonna.
mean,
bring
again,
that up, too.
it's not imminent danger that it's gonna fall down or anything, but just kind of an
It's just
eyesore.
sand anyway, it'll just kind of crumble, I don't think it'll
Let's
hit
hope-
anybody on the head.
Let's hope so.
Okay, do you have anything else?
Yeah, lastly is I've asked the staff to assess some sewer rates in various counties or various municipalities and so forth. And they do run as low as $25 up to $61 is the base rate. So there's a considerable difference there. I guess the reason I mention this is I think Fostoria needs help. We need to get EPA off their back in any way that we can, or get some resources, some financial resources to them, so that the onus doesn't lie completely on the users of the sewer system. Because again, you look at that as low as 25 and as high as $61. That's a pretty dramatic jump there. And with Fostoria being absolutely the highest, and the people outside of the Fostoria being really assessed at the high level. So I don't know what kind of excuse me, what kind of political pressure or anything, but I think we need to continue to. As I said, I've been in contact with Sherrod Brown, Rex, Dan Schroeder, Jeff McLean. RCAP will be, I did connect with them and I'll get a call this afternoon. There's a new person starting the job where they will reassess all the non-residential people in New Riggle,
Okay.
and to reassess their EDUs.
All
How many
six
they
of them?
get? Pardon?
All 6 of them?
Possibly, yeah. But that doesn't do anything, that just may redirect it around. If this guy's got 3,
Oh, yeah,
maybe
it'll-
he'll get 2, the other guy may have 4.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really address the big problem. The big problem is the darn rates are just exorbitant. And it's needed because of what EPA has mandated on the treatment plant in Fostoria, so.
Yeah, absolutely, the net rate will be the same for New River.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
who's
they
gonna
ain't
pay.
gonna change, and Fostoria is justified with what they're requiring, but it is because of these
I think
infrastructure improvements they gotta make that's being mandated by EPA.
And we faced that for years, they required us to tie in the jail and all that out there at great cost to us
Ask
when the
them.
system was working. System was working properly. I guess if we're gonna send anything, if you're suggesting we send something to the EPA or contact the EPA, we ought to work in concert with Fostoria. I would see what they wanted us to do. We're not talking money here, we're just talking,
Political pressure or,
Yeah,
or,
voicing the concern.
power of the
Yeah.
people, whatever it takes, but somehow or other.
if Mr. Thornton has somebody he feels we should contact, or,
I will certainly
I guess
reach
that
out to
would
Fostoria and,
rather than us contacting somebody and then find out that they didn't want us to talk to them, or they
okay,
didn't want
okay,
us to.
that's certainly legitimate.
Okay.
I know I would have a hard time living in some of those municipalities with the higher rates.
Okay, did you have anything for a work session?
I don't think so, unless we're meeting with some residents out at 4 o'clock. That came up Friday afternoon, out off the airport runway where the trees are being cleaned in that area, that residential area out there that have some concerns, so we're just gonna go out and see what their concerns are.
They must have called one of you guys, because I didn't get
Yeah,
that.
they called
Call-
both of us,
call
both of us,
Okay,
and we
good.
both communicated over the weekend, and we're gonna assess that.
Okay.
First we gotta do is look at the situation, see how valid it is, and then what corrective action that we feel we can take as a county to
Yeah.
take care of the issue.
There is, I know I talked to some folks who live up there, and they're concerned that that we're after some more houses and so on. I think there's no more houses on that plan. The county's removed at least one house, the Fiesel house.
No, we've moved.
There was a couple.
Smith's
There was a
house,
couple.
Auber's
Smith's
house.
Okay. And I don't think there's any more houses on that master plan.
Correct.
That Richland Engineering designed to come up with FAA standards, some more trees.
I don't think
Yeah, I think right now
More
they're just
trees after
removing
this
some
bunch?
trees, and there may be some issue with water runoff and so forth there that.
Is there more trees after this bid? We bid like parcels A, B, C, and D, and I don't remember what we accepted. If we accepted them all, or if we accepted just some of them.
We
Remember?
did parcel C. I don't know if what we're removing now
Brings them all up to
is,
standard.
yeah, I think that's what she was saying.
Yeah, I guess you'd have to ask Brad.
Because I think what had happened with the last one, the only reason we just did C was because they said we could have this much grant money, but then once they went to bid it out, they took some of that money away.
Okay.
So,
That's why we bid it like that, so we.
and I can always ask Kelsey too if you guys want me to see if there's gonna be any more. I'll email her.
That'd be helpful information to have,
Yeah,
I
we
would
get to
think.
know now.
I'm actually gonna be meeting with Brad within the next day or two to go over the issues we talked about last week, the expenses, and see if we could mutually agree to maybe renegotiate the lease out there. And again, I repeat, mutually agree.
And I think one of the things they'll probably mention too is that I think they're concerned about building hangars over there where the trees were, and I don't think that's a possibility even because if you're clearing a free zone, you could build something there too. I don't even think it would be,
Yeah,
if we wanted to, I don't think we could.
no.
So, okay, good. See what they say. The only thing I had was that CSB building, and we talked about that. Did you have anything, Nikki? Anything from the public for our work session?
I have a little comment.
Sure.
On your cemetery, that the Boy Scouts are fixing up. The lane going back there, the first several hundred feet, you've got pretty good ruts in that lane, in that driveway. Would it be possible to put some gravel in there, because there is going to be people driving back there after this is done, or during this time. And there's some pretty good ruts toward the first couple hundred feet. And in fact, there's one hole, when it rains, it gets very bad.
Tom, would it not be better to have the county
And
keep the
die.
grader and just grade without putting that money, they could just grade that what you,
Anything, I'm just, yes, because there's ruts, those ruts, and everybody drives in that track. If they wouldn't do that, it wouldn't happen, but it's happened already. Yes, that would be fine. I think just peel the top off of that and lay it in.
take a
Yeah,
couple swipes,
yeah, it wouldn't take much.
east to west there,
It wouldn't take
that way they just solve the problem. And
It wouldn't take much. Yeah, I don't like to see stone in there. There's a cinder base, but that's probably from years back. But yeah, that would be great.
If we grade it,
Something.
if we grade it, we lose the grass, then
You
it
lose the
increases
grass.
the grass.
Well, in the middle, I mean, what you're doing is you got two ruts where the tires run, but in the middle is a hump. If you grade that hump out, that
The
would,
hump, and maybe both sides a little bit, you don't have to go back very far.
Yeah, but I think I was out there and I think you'd end up creating mud holes.
If you do that.
I don't think.
I mean, it's a lane, so it's, when we get a lot of rain, it's gonna be mud, and there's nothing we're gonna do about that.
Yeah, I don't know how deep that stone is,
I mean-
or gravel, whatever they put in there first.
Can't pave it.
But it didn't seem to me like, I know there's ruts back in there, but it didn't seem to me like there was much of anything in there at all. I thought it was a pretty thin layer. If you go
You know
taking that off and you knock off, say if you, 6 inches and you knock off 6 inches, you got mud right
You
now.
don't wanna go that deep.
We could certainly get an opinion from
Man,
Mark
if you don't go that deep, I don't think you're gonna fill
Zimmerman,
them
he
up.
would know.
Oh, yes,
That hole.
yes, you would. Yes, you would tell. I've been back there lots. But I think it's a good suggestion, Fred. Maybe just peel it off a little bit
Of the hump,
off the hump.
of the hump.
The
And that's
center
gonna
and
put
off
it kind of in the
each
lower
side of the
spots.
track. It's only because there's a decent grade off of the lane. Yeah, something's better than nothing, I think. Thank you.
Anything else? Anybody wants to bring up?
One other thing that I was in a meeting with Judge Myers Thursday, Wednesday, the week screw me all up anymore. And a suggestion was coming, and I understand long-term, we're not gonna use the old library and so forth, but there's kind of an issue, they need a railing to go up in the middle. Apparently, there's railing on the outside, but the way the door opens up. if you-
Outside steps or inside?
Outside steps, outside steps. You know, if there's any way that we could put a center rail up there, so that when the door opens up, if you've got somewhat of a handicap, it makes it somewhat cumbersome to maneuver around that. So that was a suggestion that was made.
To remove the outer ones?
No, no,
Or
no,
is
no,
that leave
just
the
to put
outer
one in the middle.
Just put one in the.
Dean had said that there's holes there where the other one used to be. He didn't remember why.
Well, there was one in the
There
middle?
was one in the middle. He couldn't remember why it was removed. He thought maybe it was because of the way the door opened, but I talked to him after you called in, and he's gonna look at it and get an estimate for
Get
a rail.
cost
Yeah.
on that situation. And then he also mentioned that apparently we have neglected the janitorial service in the, I call it the library, I'm sorry, I'm old fashioned here. Kroger's and library and LaSalle's. And Stacy mentioned that just may have been something, just an oversight, when there had some changes in janitorial service so that they have accessibility to that with a key.
Yeah.
Where they can go over there in the evening and at least clean the restrooms and so forth. Not a major, but
Yeah. We just thought that he was having the kids do it down there. We didn't redirect some of so we will
Okay.
make sure we get that.
Okay.
how's our elevator running at the CSB building?
Knock on wood. I haven't
Good.
had any complaints.
Holly, have we got any information any further on the Board of Election?
We get a little closer with defining the square footage, but Dean and I are going out today.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the existing spot and then go out there, and I wanna ask him a couple questions about could this be done, very minor, removal of a wall
For the existing facility?
out at Jobs and Family.
Oh, okay.
And then otherwise, I wanna know what all the possibilities are or aren't before I talk with them again.
Yeah.
And then let's talk with them again. I wanna do that.
Once you've got that figure, you'll probably want to take one of the board members or one of the staff or something.
Somebody through there, yeah. I think that would be the best thing, and I can go over it with you guys in a session first, or whatever you wanted me to do. We definitely can, I think, we can definitely address two of their concerns, and that's the safety and the ADA.
Out there, you mean?
Instantly out there. Those two things without modification to the facility, I think can be, in my opinion, can be done. The space is, we're not comparing apples and peaches yet, but we're getting close. It's just a matter of machine and that, like I said, possibility of a wall to get their machines, because they definitely are concerned of keeping the machines in the same facility with them. And I understand that to some degree because of the staffing. They said when they have to go work on them and do certain things with them, it'd be a lot less cumbersome than have to travel back to a different building where they're stored. And I can understand that, so.
Is it mandated by feds or something that it's gotta be in the same facility?
No.
Is
Not
there a
that,
lot
not
of-
that I know of.
Yeah,
Not
is
that
there
I
a lot
know
of
of.
maintenance on the?
But
I guess-
when
I
they
guess-
update and when they do training, they access the machines, so they usually would take one over just to the conference room. So they don't have to take it very far when they do their training of other poll workers and that kind of stuff.
To me, I guess I just see that's almost a valuable space to be used for storage of machines.
Right, I mean, it looks like it's ideal for them, because that's where they're at now,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the electrical's there
But
and
if you
everything,
move the
but,
machines out of there, would that give them ample space to do it? And then what are the legalities and the issues if you stored the machines in a separate location, separate secured? I mean, you can have simple security, so that the doors opens that, an alarm goes off. It just seems like a valuable space there to store machines.
yeah, it's good for that.
Yeah.
It's good for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that might not be a deal breaker. like I said, I just wanna know all the possibilities before I go back to them, so I can answer questions I think that they might have. And so we're gonna do that today.
I mean, if you got those machines out of that facility, that would open up a lot of additional space for them.
Oh, you mean
At
let
the
the kids stay where
current
they're, but then
facility.
it doesn't solve their security without renovations and or their ADA. See, so that's just,
Yeah, I know, but ADA, they got an elevator.
Oh, they got an elevator, the
Yeah.
doors. The only issue that I'm
Yeah.
concerned about there is the tightness of the voting for the absentees.
Yeah, but again, if you open that downstairs up, where they could move a lot of their facilities downstairs, and it kept the upstairs as the voting
yeah,
in a small office up there, I mean, there may be adequate space right there in the existing facilities if the equipment can be moved out of there. And I'm not stating one way or other, but I
Yeah.
question the validity that it's gotta be at that location, why it can't be stored at off premise and have some sort of security around these are the
like I
ballot
said,
machines.
like I said, their concern now is if they moved, that they couldn't have the machines with them. I don't know that moving the machines out of where they're at, they're gonna be of interest.
That's why I'm curious, is
Like I said,
there,
that machine, that room works good for machines, I just
Yeah.
assume leave the machines there and, if we address the other issues, but we can look at it, but again, I don't wanna forget the fact that I think that is gonna be more valuable as now we've got
A
a potential
retail
on the
stand.
Fifth Third, yeah.
Yeah.
That is certainly of more interest than we're never gonna get retail out there,
yeah, no, that's
yeah.
certainly valid.
Yeah, I think take your time and look at it. I don't think we're in a huge hurry here because this election is not gonna be a high turnout election in November.
No, it's kind of an off, yeah,
The next year will be the bigger
yeah,
turnout.
yeah. Yeah, by all means.
Okay, yes.
On the railing, there's a railing laying out on the way back to cemetery. It was taken out of, I don't know where it came from.
Maybe from out of there.
I don't know. There's a big railing laying there.
Might have
I don't know
come
what
out
it
the
is.
courthouse.
I don't know if it's any valuable, to do something with that. I don't.
I think that's laying out there on the left, when you come into the cemetery, I
I'm sure
thought I seen a
maintenance knows
pile
it's
of
there.
something.
On the right. As you
It's on the
drive
right?
back. It's on the
Okay.
right. There's a flagpole laying there too.
That's
Why
from the
not get rid of
courthouse.
that flagpole?
Pardon?
The flagpole is laying there. I don't know where that came from.
From the courthouse.
Courthouse lawn.
Stacy, you wanna have Dean, or somebody look at if there's a railing out there?
Yep.
I'm sure they probably know it's there.
Pardon?
I bet they know it's there, but we can, certainly want to remind them.
Well, they probably know it's there, but maybe, I don't know if there's any value in
Yeah,
it.
I wonder if that came off the old courthouse somehow.
I bet it
Probably.
did.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Good thought.
We can resurrect at least part of it.
All right, we got about 2 minutes yet till our regular session. We'll wait till 10 in case that's when we advertise it for us.
It's okay, the next meeting is still on a Tuesday.
Tuesday, it's the week after that we switched.
Instead of the 17th, it's the 16th, and we're not gonna have a work session. We're just gonna do a session of 10.
So there's, I got a budget meeting on Tuesday, so that's not valid, right? Whoever, but it's
There's-
just stuff
yeah.
in my
Yeah, there's a.
system. There is a budget meeting
commission.
on?
Yeah, like they said today, the first and third Tuesdays
On the
from the
17th?
for the rest of the year, they're gonna have meetings.
Oh,
Because that's why I mentioned over there
okay,
that
yep.
we moved the board meeting and two of us were gonna for sure be out of town that day.
I can't remember two things at the same time.
The revenue report was not available today, but it should be available the next couple days.
Oh, okay.
The budget commission.
Quiet group today.
Just following your lead.
Pardon?
Following your lead.
I didn't say anything bad about Foss Stewart. I was trying to help him.
Will we?
If you're not talking, we're not
It's up to you. And Ken.
My wife says I talk, but I
Here,
never say
okay?
anything.
And we can-
Heard that several times.
All right, it's 10 o'clock now. It's Tuesday, December 3rd, 2013, 10 o'clock. It's the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Wetton,
I'm here.
Commissioner Stacy,
Here.
Commissioner Butler.
Here.
Okay, and sign the journal. We have a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a
So-
motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, old business, Mrs. Wilson.
Nope.
Old business. Nicole? Aye?
No, we covered it in work session.
Old business, okay, I don't have any old. New business?
New business, I have bill vouchers 105 to 106. I have a supplement to the permanent appropriations for the Seneca County Sewer District Bascom Fund, 139, putting $42,941.56 into their transfers outline. I have a supplement to the permanent appropriation within the Recovery Act Rural Law Enforcement Assistant Fund, 222, putting $624.64 into other expense. A resolution authorizing a fund transfer be made to the Sewer Construction Fund, 224, moving $14,787.38 from 139 to 224. I have an appropriation adjustment for the County Capital Projects Fund, moving $4,368 from contingencies to jail for the fire detection and alarm.
From where? You said contingencies, you meant
Yes.
contract services?
No, there's a contingency line in 215.
Okay, okay, right.
I have an appropriation adjustment within the general fund, moving $1,938.84 from contract services to transporting prisoners. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the Delinquent Care and Custody Grant Fund, 162, putting $4,200 into contract services. I have a resolution certifying unpaid assessments to the county auditor for collection pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, section 6117.02. I have a resolution approving the bonding company and the bond for Damon D. Alt, elected as Seneca County Treasurer, term expiring September 4th, 2017. And I think that's all I have.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on any of those? You know, even though Damon's elected in November, his term doesn't start until September. September, October, something like
I ask this every meeting, is Mark gonna have a meeting for Bascom, or is he gonna do that at the same time we do our quarterly meeting?
He has not responded to that
Have we
yet. I
asked
don't.
him?
Yes.
Have we-
Yes. Yep. I will ask again.
that. Okay, any more discussion on the motions here? Okay, roll call please.
Commissioner Zoller,
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy,
Yes.
Commissioner Wetton.
Yes. Okay, any other new business?
Just quick, we have a request from the coroner. I've got to call into him. I need to find out more information. He's just requesting an additional $4,500 in funding. He talks about previous years, his budget's being cut, which, you know, all general fund budgets were cut, so it's not just the coroner's funds that were cut. He's not clear what line he's referring to. He just said, I will need an additional $4,500 in funding. If you could arrange for that, I would appreciate it. if you have any specific questions, feel free to contact me. So I can't even put it in a line because I don't know where he wants it. I didn't know if he had talked to any of you outside of this request or,
So you didn't say what he needed it for?
nope.
Well, no, Dr., the coroner did explain to me that apparently he has an assistant and is doing a lot of work that he doesn't have to do, so it's limiting his time, which his is at a higher level or something or other there. And so he was advocating that this individual, that he was gonna have to increase his compensation slightly to be able to retain him and keep him at the level of, which is at a lower cost to the county versus the other options that are available. And I kinda understood it from a high level, but you know, he's asked me a
I
couple
guess
times.
you have to know more specific, and we can't move it anyway,
Yeah.
without
Do you,
having some detail to the,
What's
whether
his-
it's compensation or,
don't, sorry.
no, I'm just gonna say we need to know that detail, right?
Yep, yep.
Before we can move
Yep.
it.
I have a bad habit of butting in. I keep trying to stop myself from doing it. Did you look at his expense report? Is he short
Yep.
somewhere?
There was expense reports attached, the auditor's expense report, and I'm not seeing, he's still got, and if he's talking about the assistant or the extra salary line, he's still got $7,000 available. He's only spent year to date $2,200.
Okay.
So,
Maybe he doesn't.
$2,200
So he might just
out
want
of
it
a budget
realigned.
of
his total
90,000?
was $9,270. He spent $2,275, and he has a remainder of $6,995 in that salary
That line.
employees line, if that's the one he's needing this in. I mean, the coroner's salary set, there's no adjustment
Set by
that
law,
can
yeah.
be
Yeah.
changed on that. The only other line he has, his other expense, which are his dues, which he's paid, and contract services that he would pay for autopsies. We contract with, is it Lucas County?
Toledo, yeah.
Lucas County to do our autopsies, so, I mean, last year his employee salaries line was only $3,900 for the entire year.
And we appropriated 9,000.
Yep, and he moved 5,100 of that salary line to contract services last year. I don't know if we had some extra autopsies last year.
How are we on autopsies as far as budget to date?
Let's see, looks like we have about 19,000 left available. We've spent $16,679 so far this
Looks
year.
like he's in good shape. I don't know where he needs. We'll talk to him. Maybe he doesn't
Yep.
realize he has that available.
Or maybe he realized he knows he needs to move it. Does he need to, he still needs to request it to put it in a different type of line, doesn't
Yeah, he doesn't have any.
And maybe that's what he's saying, I know I need to do this, I just don't know what I don't know.
Okay. I mean, yes, his expenses are down, because he talks about 2008, but, you know, the commissioners then had to cut budgets because it needed to be done, so. So, but I didn't know if he had other conversations with you,
Seems like he's got money there, but talk to him. Maybe there's
Okay.
something we don't know or something. Maybe he doesn't understand he's got it available too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The auditor's reports is easy to read. I just read them all the time so I can understand them a
He's
little
used to
better.
reading prescriptions.
Yeah. So, I will call and see
Okay.
or waiting for a call to see back what he needs.
Okay. Let's see, I lost, that was a new business. Any other new business? Any other? Okay, I don't have any other new business either. Any public comment other than what we had? All right,
This week.
is there a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Second.
We're adjourned at 10:09.